Gervonta Davis versus Ryan Garcia. Now, I usually do my breakdowns the week of the fight just to give some breathing room, but man, I was having a conversation with a friend about this one the other day, so I figured, you know what? Let's just do this a week in advance because it's coming up next week anyway, and I want to hear everybody's opinion. Talking to different people, there's the Tank side, there's the Garcia side, so I want to hear from you. I want to hear from the community that we've built, right? So let's get into it. Let's start with Gervonta Davis, 28 wins, no losses, 26 wins by way of knockout. There's a lot of narrative around Tank, right? People say he's only got power. People say he's not a complete fighter. People say he hasn't fought anybody and all of that stuff. And there's nothing wrong with anybody's opinion of what they perceive to be their truth from their perspective, whatever the case may be. But that doesn't mean those opinions are necessarily true. Tank is more than just a guy that can punch, right? He's fought good, solid, quality opposition, right? He's been fighting on pay-per-views for years and selling out arenas, right? Being front and center under the pressure, under the big lights, under all of the scrutiny, right? He fought Jose Pedraza in 2017, Eureka's Gamboa in 2019, Leo Santa Cruz, Mario Barrios, Isaac Cruz, Rolando Romero, and last year Hector Garcia. He's either fought champions and have taken their belt, or he's defended his belts. And he's came out victorious each time. Now, the elephant in the room, right? Tank is 5'5", right? And except for a few fights, he's generally fighting the taller guys inside the ring. And I don't think the height difference between Ryan Garcia is going to be as big of a deal as people might think. Garcia is 5'10", right? But you know who else is 5'10"? Mario Barrios. When Tank fought Barrios, right, up until the stoppage, Barrios was winning the fight. I think through 7, Barrios, now correct me if I'm wrong, I'm just trying to remember it off the top of my head. I think it was like 59, 55 in favor of Barrios on the cards. The man was fighting a great fight. He took advantage of Tank's slow start, used his jabs, and didn't let Tank get too close to him. Right? He was moving around the ring and he was having a lot of success early. Right? He was looping shots to the body and he was coming through with the straight hand down the middle. And that seemed to be a formula for success for Mario Barrios. And defensively, he was making it tough for Tank to land his shots, right? And for Tank to usually have his way. Not to mention, right, Tank moved up a division to take the fight. So even though Tank was the favorite coming in, it was actually Mario Barrios that had all of the advantages, right? And Tank got popped with some shots in that fight. And I don't think Tank gets the respect for the chin that he does have. And he'll take a few shots from in close to set up his shots, right? Case in point, remember when he fought Leo Santa Cruz? He had Santa Cruz on the ropes and Leo Santa Cruz let off the same shot 3 different times. He was having success the first time, having success the second time, but then he chose to do the same thing a third time, and that's when Tank ducked under that straight right hand, came up and landed that uppercut that I'm sure Santa Cruz probably still feels today when they got to talk about it, right? And we're definitely going to see that uppercut leading up to the fight over and over and over again. But going back to the Barrios fight, right, there was a shift in that fight before the knockout came, and it happened when Tank went back to the corner, right? And his corner was just like, yo, you're losing the fight. I don't remember if it was one of his cornermen or if it was Floyd who was nearby and came over to Tank, right? But, yo, the moment that they said, yo, dog, they got you down on the cards here, it's like Tank stopped being hesitant, stopped being tentative, and started to let his hands go. Right, Tank started to turn up the pressure and the intensity, and he started to load up his shots and walk Mario Barrios down. Barrios was having a lot of success when he remembered that he was the bigger man, but the moment that the intensity picked up and Tank started to be the one who was the imposing one, and he was moving like the bigger man in the ring, that is when Mario Barrios found himself in trouble. And even though Barrios was fighting back and landing powerful shots of his own, he doesn't have the type of punching power that Tank has. And once Tank gets comfortable and starts to let his hands go, yo, if one of these shots connect, it could be over with, right? It could be lights out. Now, I know a lot of people after that fight, man, they were saying, yo, they didn't rate Mario Barrios, but I do. He was a former champion, right? And that was a fight where Tank had to think his way in to that fight. He had to find the openings and fight off that reach, right? And the activity of Mario Barrios. And he had to capitalize. And when those openings became open, right, he had to mix up his attacks. Barrios is a guy that, man, you have to break down. Remember when Mario Barrios fought one time, right? Keith Thurman. And even though he got beat up that fight, he got beat up that fight, he fought Thurman tough and had success against one time, right? He hurt one time to the body. Remember, he hit one time to the body, one time always taking out his mouth guard, running around the ring. You don't take out your mouth guard and move that quickly around the ring if you are not hurt, right? Thurman wasn't able to stop Barrios. Tank did. So that speaks a little bit to me. I think that's a similar style, or take some of those similar things that was working for Mario Barrios, and I would probably implement that in the game plan if I was Ryan Garcia, right? Because when you are having success in a specific area, you got to exploit that. When I was running track and field, man, there were parts in races where I'm like, I got to hit this part hard because I know they're not going to do it. And I have to exploit their weak areas and make that become my strength and make it work with me, right? So if I'm Garcia, I'm watching a little bit of that tape and seeing what I can take from it, which I'm sure his camp is already doing, right? Like, especially if Tank is going to start slow, because those are rounds that you can steal and build up a lead. Now, if Ryan Garcia comes in wanting to just knock Tank out and force the pressure, there's a good chance that Ryan Garcia might end up like Rolly. Right? Rolly was doing very well and to a lot of us did much better than we thought that he would. For the first 4 or 5 rounds, he was patient, but then he got a little too comfortable, overcommitted, and that costed him. All it takes is one moment for you to slip, and a counter from Tank, it could be over with. Now, when Tank fought Hector Garcia, who had a great year last year, he was a tough guy to fight against because, man, Hector Garcia can box. He's smart, and he does the simple things very well. He's a solid technician, and once he felt the power of Tank, man, you could see after the first shot that Garcia's neck snapped back. It was like, whoa, okay, this guy's a lot stronger than I thought inside the ring, and the Tank was countering very well in that fight. And he looked sharp. He looked quick. He looked explosive and strong and very confident. The way how he was moving, man, it's almost like he knew he was going to win. And he started letting his hands go a little earlier than he usually does. And he fought more inside of the pocket. Every athlete has to move as if they believe that they are going to win. But it's different when your mannerisms articulate what you're thinking inside of your head. And I felt in that fight that Tank just knew he was going to win. It was just a matter of how. Garcia, yes, he had to come up in weight, absolutely, but that wasn't a tune-up fight as a lot of people were saying. But it goes to show the caliber of fighter that he is, because he can bang with you, right? He can outbox you, right? He has good head movement, and he doesn't shell up when the pressure is on. He's used to the moment, used to the pressure, right? And with the age, he continues to get better and evolve inside of the ring. And I'm sure this weekend is going to be no different. I feel like every time we see Tank in the ring, in these moments where the pressure is on, he rises to the occasion. And he gets better every single time the pressure is against him. The only thing I'd like to see against Tank, I'd like to see him not wait till the second or the third round to let off combinations. I don't think you can give up too much rounds against Ryan Garcia because he's going to take advantage of that. But let's talk about his opponent, Ryan Garcia. 23 wins, no losses, 19 wins by way of knockout. I like Ryan Garcia. I think he gets a hard time and people attack him easily because of all the social media stuff and all of that stuff. But I never felt like that. One, man, look, you got to sell yourself and use the platforms that are in your advantage. And you got to sell yourself however it is that you do it, sell yourself. And that will help all of the other things financially, endorsements. It's a whole thing, right? But I never looked at him as a guy who was just a social media fighter, right? I think he's done well for himself in his career so far. Now, he doesn't have the resume that Tank does, but he's got some good wins on his resume, like when he fought and beat Luke Campbell and the former WBA super featherweight champion, Javier Fortuna. He's got the height advantage. Yes, we know that. He's got the reach advantage. Yes, we know that, right? So the expectation is he's going to use his height and his size to his advantage. He's going to use that reach to his advantage. But Ryan Garcia isn't really a guy that likes to fight on the outside too much, right? That's not what he likes to do. He likes to engage, right? He likes to come forward. He likes that mid-distance range. And we know he's explosive. We know the man's hand speed is ridiculous, right? And he's got power in his shots. Now, I was watching the, the All Access the other day, and Tank was saying, man, you know, all this guy has is a left hand. And Ryan Garcia said, yeah, maybe that's all I need. And Garcia is right? He's connected that shot to his opponents, and whether it's a headshot or a body shot, they haven't came up from a lot of Ryan Garcia's shots when they land. Even though Tank is joking about it, he's got to be watchful of it, because Tank has gotten caught with some looping right and left hands that has gotten through in his fights before. So it might be there again to use. What made me respect Ryan Garcia a lot more was when he fought Luke Campbell. When he got dropped, right, in that second round, he got up quickly and he came back the next round, and it was like something clicked, right? Something clicked inside of his head, right? Because a different switch came on that we've never seen in Ryan Garcia before. And the intensity that he brought back into the ring after the knockdown the rounds before, right? He was a little bit emotional when he got knocked down and came back the next round. He tried to get everything back all at once, and he took some big swings and missed, and it went wide. And if Campbell was a bit more athletic, he might have been able to put himself in a better position where he could have countered and capitalized off those big misses. But I liked what I saw from Garcia, and I like how we finished the fight with that beautiful left hook to the body that closed out the show that Campbell didn't get out from. But I said to myself, okay, Ryan, right? Like, you have that will in you, right? You have that spirit to you, and you can only get that when you face a certain level of adversity. And he rose to the occasion and he got the win. It's very impressed by that. It's boxing. Anybody can fall at any given moment, but can you get back up and finish the fight? And he did. We got to respect that. Last year, he fought twice, right? He fought Fortuna, and Fortuna came in and press conference, man, he didn't look like he was in shape at all. And Garcia got the stoppage win, and it looked very easy, right? He looked very good to me. Didn't look like he hampered himself by no means, but I noticed that he was more patient in the ring. Much more mature in the ring, much more controlled in the ring. He knows he has skills, but I think now he's really trusting in his skills a lot more. He's an accurate and sharp puncher, and when he lets his hands go, man, he's got the type of hand speed where he can let off 6 shots and his opponent can only get off 2. It's that quick, right? This isn't a guy that Tank can take lightly. Garcia was way too quick for Fortuna, and Fortuna couldn't keep up. Now, when he fought Emmanuel Tagoe, a lot of people were saying, man, Ryan couldn't cut off the ring well enough, right? And yeah, you know, a little truth to that, and you can say that. But again, if you watch it again, look, Emmanuel Tagoe wasn't there to fight. He was trying to survive. I'm not going to say he was running per se, but he was swiftly evading Ryan Garcia. Ryan Garcia is athletic. He's talented. He's fast. He's big. He's strong. He's got power. And I think in the recent years, he's starting to show that he can put all of that together. And right now, this is the best version of Ryan Garcia that we have seen. And that is why this fight is going to be a big fight, because we're going to get the best of Gervonta Davis and we're going to get the best of Ryan Garcia. And when we have two guys like this coming in, you know it's going to be fireworks. So who wins? Ryan needs to start quickly, and he needs to make Tank uncomfortable quickly without putting himself in danger. He needs to go and establish the range and fight like the bigger guy, but don't force what's not there. He needs to go to the body and use that patented left hook often and consistently make Tank weary of it. But he's got to go in with the plan. Can't be emotional. You got to get up. You got to go in and tactically put Tank in the position that you want him to be in. Now, Tank is going to be patient, as he always is, right? But Tank isn't going to be emotional, and he's going to weather some of the storm that's going to come his way. Tank has been in moments like this before, in that 28 years old, all these pay-per-views before, experience is on his side, right? We talk about the atmosphere. We talk about the back and forth, man. To be honest, though, I'm not sure Ryan Garcia would have been able to stop Mario Barrios. I'm not sure he would have been able to beat him, right? Especially at 140. It would have been close. And I'm not saying Garcia wouldn't win, but it would have been a very close fight. And I'm not sure how well Ryan Garcia would have done against Hector Garcia either. I'm not saying that he wouldn't win the fight, but it would have been a much tougher fight. So I'm rolling with Tank to win this fight by mid to late stoppage, right? Garcia will probably be up on the cards. And when the intensity picks up, man, I just think that Baltimore Tank is going to come out, and those shots that might not have landed early on in the rounds are going to start to connect late. And no offense to Luke Campbell, right? Respect to him for all that he's been able to accomplish and for getting in the ring. You know me on this channel. I don't bash nobody. I have too much respect for the guys and the women that we're talking about. But if Luke Campbell was able to drop Ryan Garcia, and Luke Campbell is not really known to be a heavy puncher, and he touched up Ryan Garcia's chin, even though Ryan Garcia got up and fought back and got the stoppage win, I'm not sure he would have got up from a Tank shot. Maybe once. I'm not sure twice. However, if Tank isn't on his awareness tip in the ring, right, we might see Tank get put on the canvas. I know, but it's a possibility, right? It hasn't happened before, but, Garcia does have that ability. However, like I said, I'm taking Tank to win this fight by KO or a late stoppage. It's an exciting fight. What are your thoughts on this fight? Who do you have winning this one? Let me know in the comment section below. If you would like to support the channel, there's a couple ways you can do so. You can like, comment, share, and subscribe to the channel. If you would like to support by way of donation, you can find options in the description below. Also, my Cash App Panda will be on screen as well. Any amount goes towards the growth of this channel and will be greatly, greatly appreciated. We recently just started a membership on the channel. I don't always get the opportunity to do all of the videos that everyone suggests, but if you become a member, you will get suggested priorities when it comes to the fight each week, and I will do my best to make those videos for you. Shout out to all of the members that are over there holding down the member section, man. I appreciate each of you. For those who are new to the channel, for the community that we've built during this time, I appreciate you. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. And thank you for sharing your comments. So what do you think about this fight? Let me know in the comment section below. So with all that being said, I'll see you next time.